Hi, greetings. It's me, Dr. Paul Gerhardt, and I want to welcome you in this video. And I want to talk about specifically training and development and developing global leaders and expatriates. And I'm going to cover some basic information that you probably know and give you some examples as it relates to global teams. And so in this video, I want to talk about some research that's been done and talk about training that can affect a systemic approach to individuals' knowledge, skills, and attitudes in order to improve individual team and organizational effectiveness. We also want to talk about the development of knowledge, skills, and personal growth for future roles. So, some researchers have produced empirical evidence that training and development really does lead to higher organizational performance and even giving an organization competitive advantage. An example, there was an empirical study of training policy in a hotel industry in Spain, which identified that training and development and human capital development as a source of differentiation and giving them a competitive advantage. And much more research and investigations have found clear evidence that training and development leads to improvement in overall organizational performance, and that positive employee attitude sometimes leads to improved organizational performance. So we talk a lot about how leaders make a difference. You hire people in an organization who appear to be the best qualified candidate, then over time their contributions to the team and organization as a whole really does depend on the quality of leadership and the development of individuals as leaders. And there truly is a wide variety of approaches to training and development that are available for organizations. Some of the most popular forms of training delivered can be identified in a study done in Greece that include on-the-job training, mentoring, apprenticeship, simulation, web-based learning, instructor-led classroom training, program self-instruction, case studies, role plays, and other systematic job rotations and transfer. So, comparing international studies of training and development have found significant differences between countries. There are, in fact, few instances of universal training and development practices. There are similarities in training and development which are more commonplace in regional clusters of countries, since training and development is strongly influenced by institutional and cultural values. Skill gaps, skill requirements, and subsidiaries of employee expectations are three major reasons for organizations, especially multinational companies, to invest in training and development. Expatriate development, cross-cultural training. In one study done in 2006 by Luttrell, it identified the following as key objectives for cross-cultural training in personal adjustment, work adjustment, and interactions in host nationals. Learning to learn. This objective draws attention to the fact that no training is likely to prepare an expatriate for every eventuality that will be encountered in a new culture. Hence, cross-cultural training needs to assist the expatriate to learn how to acquire information about another culture, making isomorphic attributions occur when the expatriate makes the same judgments and decisions regarding behavior as do host nationals. Thus, a key objective of cross-cultural training is to help equip the expatriate to recognize, understand, and act upon cultural nuances surrounding behaviors in another culture. So, as team leaders, we need to help employees overcome difficulties that undermine the effectiveness while in another culture. Developing positive relationships really is key, and this relates particularly to expatriate relationships with host nationals. Accomplishing work related to tasks. For example, the expatriate may require certain technical skills that relate specifically to work in another culture, and then helping cope with stressors. This objective is recognition of the fact that expatriate work is often associated with a range of tasks and family pressures that can lead to stress. So leaders need to help develop leaders. And in international organizations, they truly are needed globally, and they must help leaders achieve success. So when you're developing global leaders, this truly can give an organization a competitive advantage for an organization. And there is a gradual shift towards global leadership development, and it's beginning more and more seen in so many different types of publications. So some tasks and activities of global leaders to consider. Working with colleagues from different countries, interacting with internal and external clients from different countries. Language is a huge one, as you know, and being able to understand languages, being able to supervise employees who are of different nationalities, and developing a strategy or business plan to manage a budget on a worldwide basis for their particular teams, and then being able to negotiate in other countries with people from other countries, and then being able to manage foreign suppliers and vendors, and then being able to manage the risk on a worldwide basis for their particular teams. In 2000, Neary and O'Grady did a study that offers some insights into design, and if you want to look them up, it's Neary and O'Grady. And so delivery and importantly the objectives of global leadership development programs. So they talk about leadership programs that are not designed to develop leaders from scratch, but rather to enhance the skills of existing outstanding leaders to help them understand global leaders, and global leadership programs, and how important it is to encourage leaders to be sensitive to their own assumptions and the assumptions of those around them. Global leaders may be familiar with cultural assumptions of the people with whom they are working, and so they need to develop the ability to A, adapt to multiple leadership styles, and B, be able to adapt to an unfamiliar environment. So global leadership programs should really help global leaders exploit diversity by helping them to understand that a wide range of heritage and experiences also help contribute to the success of an organization. Global teams are becoming more and more common, and learning how to lead teams internationally takes some skill in knowing what to look for. So we often talk about tolerance and ambiguity when we talk about diversity, and learning how to adapt appropriately as leaders is absolutely important. There's an increased necessity for global leaders to move effectively between cultures and countries. And so really, as a whole, being flexible with your leadership style truly is important. So leading teams globally and having diverse teams really means that needs to truly understand individuals and be able to have a big picture of how that individual can be developed to be able to interact more effectively among diverse employees. So anyway, I've given you a lot to think about in this video. As you think about yourself as a team leader of a diverse population, you got to be able to take a look at things like cultural competence, emotional intelligence, and really flexibility and interactions, and being able to flesh out the knowledge, skills, abilities, and talents of fellow employees. So thank you so much for your valuable time. I hope that you're enjoying this course and that you're taking something away from this video of value. I hope that, and because you get to choose how you feel about it. I'm Dr. Paul Gerhardt.